Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome to part 2 of our Amonkhet Commander Spotlight. The set is simply too awesome for a single Commander Spotlight video, so here we are. In case you missed part 1 where we covered all the Amonkhet gods, you can check that out right here by clicking on the screen, super easy. In this video, we'll be looking at the rest of the legendary creatures in the set, talking about the best places for them, and giving tips if you want them to lead your commander army. And remember, if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Let's do this thing! Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons, is 1 black and 1 green for a 2/2 human cleric. Whenever Hapatra deals combat damage to a player, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Whenever you put 1 or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, create a 1/1 green snake token with Death Touch. Hapatra is easily the most popular commander in Amonkhet right out of the gate. Her favorable color identity plus a unique and debilitating second trigger can lead you down a few different paths. What's cool about Hapatra is that you can easily combine a couple different decks into one and they all work. Her first trigger isn't particularly interesting. She isn't going to deal a lot of combat damage to players as far as I'm concerned. That's her far less consistent ability. That second trigger though, that's why we're here. Dropping -1/-1 counters and getting snakes. To start, Hapatra is going to need more ways to get those counters on creatures. That's where Carnifex Demon comes in, Contagion Clasp is superb, Contagion Engine even more so, and Soul Snuffers makes for easy counter generation. The best part about this deck is that not only do you get snakes for your opponent's creatures getting wrecked, you also get snakes when your creatures get counters too. Say hello to the fun part of the strategy, let's dive a little deeper. Putting counters on your opponent's creature is always fun, but having a slew of cards that bring counters themselves makes your job way easier. So many snakes. You'll want cards like Dusk Urchins, Noxious Hatchling, Serrated Biskellion. In this particular deck, Aberoth is beyond hilarious, great addition, there are a lot of players won't see that coming. Now what finally ties together this menace of a strategy? The cards that take advantage of -1/-1 counters. Crumbling Ashes, Flourishing Defenses, Quill Spike has seen a huge bump in popularity thanks to Hapatra. Blowfly Infestation is sick. Listen, all you really need to know about the core of this deck is that it's there for the taking. The entire strategy is just one huge decayed, poisoned, festering ball of crazy. If you want to go even further, add in some snakes and token support. You're going to be making snake tokens after all. Sashiro the Anointed is a crowd favorite. Imagine him leading your Death Touch snakes. Get Asceticism, Parallel Lives, Creekwood Liege, oh yeah. This deck is coming together nicely and oh boy is it going to trounce everyone, what a nightmare. If you like Hapatra but you don't want to build an entirely new deck around her, that's fine. The only issue is that she doesn't exactly play well with other commanders considering her power is so specific. She really needs a build around, which is why Atraxa seems to be the only place she could possibly fit. Maybe in an infect strategy or some other type of counter shenanigans, but that does bring up a good point. I don't like her as an infect commander. I almost always would rather play Skittles, Taste the Pain Bow, but I digress. Hapatra is great, easily one of the best, if not the best commander out of Amonkhet. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun playing with her. Neheb the Worthy is 1 of anything, 1 black and 1 red for a 2/2 Minotaur Warrior with First Strike. Other Minotaurs you control have First Strike. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, Minotaurs you control get +2/+0. Whenever Neheb deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. A lot of text, but it all says one of two things. 1. This is the Minotaur tribal leader you were waiting for. And 2. Let's get all Rakdos up in here. Neheb is clearly designed for 2 distinct strategies, and in both strategies, he's fantastic. We'll begin with Minotaur Tribal. Up to this point, the best Minotaur Tribal commander was Mogus, God of Slaughter, believe it or not. So basically, Neheb takes the crown without a fight. You can start with your staple Minotaur Lords, Rageblood Shaman, Kragma Warcaller, Anaba Spirit Crafter, and Fellhide Petrifier. From there, you can basically gather or search Minotaurs and pick the best ones. My favorites? Ragemonger, Lord of Shadowskull Pass, Fanatic of Mogus's Baller, but my super favorite Minotaur, Tangarth Talroom Hero. Now that's a Minotaur to envy. Fill your deck with Cowmen, add in a nice little didgeridoo, and you have most of a deck. Now let's talk Neheb in a madness/Rakdos/Hellbent/balls to the wall strategy. This is a strategy you can incorporate into your tribal Minotaurs, but you'll need to find a balance that's right for you. Look at Neheb's last ability. When he deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. That's what we're attaching ourselves to. Your goal? Take away everything from everyone while being disturbingly aggressive. Think Malfagor level nuts. We're talking Sire of Insanity, we're talking Mind Slicer, Rakdos' Return, Havoc Festival. Resource, punishment, and denial. That's what Neheb is all about. That's the kind of deck you're building. Something supremely aggressive that attacks your opponents on all fronts. Now, if you don't want to let Neheb lead your team, I'm not sure he fits anywhere else all that well. Two of his abilities are Minotaur related, and he's always going to lead Minotaurs. For a discard-based deck, he isn't really worth including just for that last ability if he isn't commanding. Just my 2 cents though, I love him as a Minotaur leader. Samut, Voice of Dissent, is 3 of anything, 1 red and 1 green for a 3/4 human warrior with flash, double strike, vigilance, and haste. Other creatures you control have haste. You can also pay 1 white and tap Samut to untap another target creature. Samut brings a lot to the table and she can take you in a lot of different directions, but for this video we're going to focus on 2. The first, Naya Humans. Samut is the first Naya Humans commander as far as I'm concerned. She gives all your humans haste, she's a human, and she untaps other creatures, allowing you to take advantage of some sweet abilities. Thanks to her color identity, you get to build a human deck without any holding back. So you can run Heron's Grace Champion, Champion of Lambholt, Thalia's Lieutenant, and Combat Celebrant all in the same deck. That's just value. In addition, her powerful untap ability lets you do some crazy things. From Devout Chaplain, to Machias, to Mother of Runes, to Intrepid Hero, and more, you'd be surprised how immensely useful that ability is. As far as human decks are concerned, if you want a Naya Humans build, Samut is your commander, hands down. Now let's talk about her non-tribal strength. Samut plus Heartless Hidetsugu, as pointed out by a billion people already, is totally absurd, outrageously broken, and beyond funny. While she can fit into a ton of different strategies, I get the feeling that her most popular build, if not humans, is going to be an aggressive Naya deck. After all, when you give everything haste and untap creatures at will, things tend to go the aggressive way. The best part though, you don't have to be that low to the ground, because Samut untaps all your mana producers so you can do crazy stuff sooner. Shaman of Forgotten Ways getting untapped, Somberwalled Sage, Untapped City, Selvala would love to be in this deck, Elvish Piper too. Who needs mana, am I right? Anywho, in addition to these, you get to run giant creatures that also synergize with our new commander. Godsire sticks out as being uniquely qualified for this strategy. You can even put Mael in here. How awesome is that? Look, in this deck, you're going to be running Sakura Tribe Elder, Avacyn, Gisela, Avenger of Zendikar, and more. It's just pure chaos. The best part about this commander is that you can build her however you want, and you're probably going to be right. It's hysterical. Now, if you don't want Samut to host your little shindig, that's totally fine, because she's great anywhere. She lets Mael activate twice, she gives Marath's giant tokens haste, and she gets +2/+0 in a Gahiji deck to add to her double strike, vigilance, and haste. Come on, that's crazy. Samut is going to be a Naya all-star, just a powerful card all around. Temmet, Vizier of Noctamen, is 1 white and 1 blue for a 2/2 human cleric with Embalm costing 3 of anything, 1 white and 1 blue. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and can't be blocked this turn. If you want to talk about a card with a specific use, you almost can't get more specific than Temmet. The dude clearly only cares about creature tokens, but not only that, he only cares about 1 creature token at a time. So if you're going to build a deck designed around Temmet, you have to keep that fact in mind. Your job is to make the biggest and most dangerous token you possibly can. That's how you win with Temmet. Remember, he gives the token a nice boost, but also unblockable, and that's where we have to focus our efforts. We'll begin with the tokens themselves. We need huge tokens. Phyrexian Rebirth is probably going to create a pretty big token. Desolation Twin makes a 10/10 when it dies, not bad. But let's take advantage of being blue. Remember, copying creatures creates tokens. I'm talking Cackling Counterpart, Rite of Replication, Clone Legion, go super huge, why not? You could even use something like Soul Foundry or Mimic Vat to create copies of non-token creatures. You can use Phyrexian Processor and pay a ridiculous amount of life to make a huge token that can't be blocked. Best idea? Play Minion Reflector. You get token copies for days. Do you see what I mean though? This deck is super weird, but it has to be built this way. Oh, and one more piece of token advice. Remember Living Weapons? Those create germ tokens. Yeah, you can give that Bone Horde or Batterskull token unblockable. Enjoy that one, friends. Temmet has such an incredibly unique skill set I actually wouldn't recommend that you put him in much besides his own deck. Most token decks are looking to go wide. I guess if you could get him in the same deck as Vraska, he can make her assassin tokens unblockable, and that's a straight up win condition right there. So probably Atraxa if we're being honest. I don't know, that could be cool, but besides that, you really need to build around Temmet for him to 100% shine. I think he has funny potential, though. And that's going to do it for part 2 of our Amonkhet Commander Spotlight series. What do you think of the multicolored legendaries offered in the set? If I'm being honest, I love how unique they are. All of them bring something interesting to the table, and it really helps the creative juices flow, you know? I mean, let's be honest. A month ago, I didn't think I was going to be building a deck around the single biggest token I could make. I honestly didn't think that would happen, but here we are. Anyways, be sure to let me know how you feel about all these legendaries in the comments. If you have ideas for them, please post about it. We'll have a great chat. Also, be sure to stay tuned to the channel for more Amonkhet awesomeness into the weekend. Lots of good stuff on the way, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Want to know one of the best parts about these new legendaries? They're all cheap as heck. We all know Hapatra is the bomb. Right now, you can get your copy of the Black-Green Human Cleric for, ready for this? $1. $1 for Hapatra? Come on, that is so cheap. A single dollar, you better jump on that. But guess what? I can do even better. You know Neheb, our favorite Minotaur commander? Literally 40 cents. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. He's literally 40 cents. Click the links on the screen for the bottom barrel prices for commander cards. You just can't go wrong. Basically pennies. Have fun with your practically free commanders. Enjoy.
Wow.